Malcolm X, that's my favorite example because he went from a life of crime and, of course, having certain dealings due to his skin tone that were unfavorable. He went from experiencing that to becoming who he became. From Malcolm Little to Malcolm X. And this transformation required a certain level of focus. When he committed to this focus, when he made the conscious decision for this, he evolved, he grew, and became quite powerful while in the same body. He was the perfect example of going from a caterpillar to a butterfly. So to transform is not just physical. Most people think physical is the only transformation that can be done. Biceps, abs, quads, to increase in muscular definition, size, and those kinds of things. Now, while that transformation can be done and requires a lot of work, you see these guys or gals that put in 15 years of work, 17 years of work, 10 years of work, and their body shows it. Well, there's another form of transformation that can have just as much impact, if not even more impact, and that is your inner being. This is the part of you that you ignore. Most people ignore their inner being. Most people, when they think transformation, they don't think to give attention to the inner being. Giving attention to the inner being through meditation adds more strength to a complete transformation, because to transform physically is only half of a transformation. You are not just one part. To transform is to become brand new while you are in this body. And this can be done multiple times. To transform is to speak differently than you did before, to think differently than you did before, to react differently than you did before, to be interested in different things than you were before, to conduct yourself in an entirely different way than you did before. That's transformation. The results of this can show. You can even have new relationships with those who are close to you. Right. Because once you make the transformation, it will be as if they no longer know you, because this new version of you has not existed. But that does not mean that the relationship with them stops. It just means that there will be an entirely different narrative, an entirely different dynamic with that person. That's power. Because that means you did it while you are still you. You're still you, but you're different. That's power. You transformed. Now you walk different. You talk different. You stand different. You dress different. It's different. You have reflection on your old self. You have the stories. You have the situations. It's all there, especially if you took notes. But now you are this new person. And this can be done younger and older. So that means you could have gone through maybe 49 years thinking a certain way, and now you're thinking entirely different after age 49, after age 55, after age 30. These transformations can happen and can create new experiences, brand new, totally different. Maybe you were not traveling before. Now you are. Maybe you didn't manage your funds well before. Now you are. Maybe your vocabulary was not as vast before. Now it is. You are speaking different. You are reacting different. In the year 2002, you would have had this reaction, but now you have a different reaction. Transformations happen every single day. We just don't notice it. We actually do transform without really being aware of it. You know, these things are very subtle. But then there are those drastic transformations, much like the caterpillar to the butterfly. That's drastic, because to go from crawling to flying is pretty amazing. Well, that can happen in human form. Again, to transform is to create anew, to become anew, to live new, to live different, to move different, to think different, to speak different. When I speak of drastic transformations, when I speak of the types of transformations that are impressionable, I speak of the transformation that would make people notice it. They would say to you, wow, I've never heard you speak that way before. Or, oh, wow, I didn't know you thought that way. Oh, wow, that's interesting. Wow, that they would have an entirely different relationship with you. That's the proof. So the people that you know, the people that you're close to, when they see a transformation that drastic, they then have to adjust because they're not going to interact with you the same way that they did before. Why? Because you are different. You are different. Now, some people make drastic transformations for the worse, and then some people make drastic transformations for the better. The transformations for the better are the ones that I'm speaking of, because those are the ones that provide an entirely new experience that's healthy and of elevation to others. You can become a better version of who you are. You're still you, but you are a better version. Maybe you have more words. Maybe your vocabulary is vast and you can educate people more. Maybe you will develop confidence to speak more. Transformation. So for this week, think transform.